Okay, so like I explained with calculus, I think the most important thing is to remember that once you get a good understanding of pre-calculus, then you have a very good basis for calculus. Now, calculus, the best way to learn is to do a lot of examples, a lot of problems. Once you practice a lot, you'll see where to fit what. So now here, if you can't see the patterns, it's still fine, okay? So now here we are going to investigate. What we are usually trying to avoid with this is a situation where we are dividing by 0. So let's put 4 here. We see that we're dividing by 0. So we can't start to find the limit here. Right, so what do? There's two things we can do here. The first is there's the denominator that can, where we can do something. So the denominator is x minus 4, right? And so if I apply this conjugate, I have difference of 2 squares. So this will give me 4 squared like that. Now I'll test to see what happens if I'm approaching 4 here. I'll have 4 squared minus 4 squared. Already these are same terms. And so expanding by using the conjugate here is not going to work. So what's our next step? Our next step would be to use a conjugate here, not the square. The instances where the square of this maybe might work, but for now, I think that's not what we are going to work with, because we can't see the pattern, this and that working together if we square the top part. So the first thing that we do is we are going to immediately look for, you start with the conjugates before anything else. So I'll do the conjugate of the top part. Okay, this one here. Right, so I'll do its conjugate. Now its conjugate is going to be 3 plus root x plus 4 plus 5. All right, then here we'll have x minus 4. And then with the conjugate, which is this same one on top, 3 plus root x plus 5. All right, now what is the secret here? The secret is that we know that this is difference of 2 squares, luckily. Okay, sometimes it might not be that. So this is a difference of 2 squares, meaning that we're just going to square these different terms. So again here, we're going to square this. Now, we have to be very careful here with the negative sign, right? And then the secret is we're not going to expand this because it's got something that we're looking for. If we were to get rid of this, then we could actually find the limit, right? So we'll let it be just the way it is, because we might be able to use it somewhere. All right, now what else do? We continue with our expansion. So here, if we expand this, we're going to get 9. And then here, you expand what is within the brackets first. So we're going to do this. Okay, and once we do this now, okay, once we do this, we maintain our negative here. And that's why I kept this in the brackets, because that is where you may find trouble. Okay, so we do things step by step, not rushing, right? So now we do the expansion of the top part. It's going to be 9, and 5 will be minus, and then we have minus x, because both are positive, so the negative will show up on both. And then we do this, and then we maintain our conjugate here. All right, so what else can we do? We can complete this. It's going to be, this is going to be, I want to show it here. This, because of the space. So this is going to be 9 minus 5, which is minus 4. So we're going to have, which is 4. So we're going to have 4 minus x. Now, 4 minus x is, if I factorize a negative, what happens? It will be x minus 4. Why? Because this becomes negative, that becomes positive. So you can see that we can factorize a negative here and do this. And now we see that, oh, actually, this has worked for us, because it's given us a way to remove our issue. So we can remove this and that. Okay. Once we remove this and that, now we have let's create a little space here. Okay, now we have negative, because we said that this can apply to the whole expression. Okay, once you only have one term on top. Okay, so now we have this. Now we can say that we can bring in our 4 and see what happens. So we can actually bring in our 4. It'll be there. And then what happens here? What happens here is that we're going to have 3. And then there we're going to have 9. Okay, 4 plus 5 is 9. So square root of 5 of 9, we're going to have minus 1 over 3 plus 3. So this is going to be minus 1 over 6. Okay, so that will be our limit. Okay, so like I said, you get the whole of this statement here, and then you say is equal to this. That will be your final statement. Okay, that will be a good presentation of your work. All the best.